Hey, I just finished my Mexico trip in Playa del Carmen mostly, and I wanted to make a quick video to review my experience and just share any insights that I had about traveling there. So I made a little bit of a list, so I'll go through this. So, food experiences. Food is one of the big reasons that I chose to go to Mexico in general. I love Mexican food. I always eat it. I've spent a lot of time in Asian countries, so it's rare to find good Mexican food. And what I found was I ate a lot of street tacos in Mexico in Playa del Carmen. So in like the morning, I would go. There was like two vendors that I really liked, and I would just see which one was open, and I would get some street tacos. One of them was more healthy for sure, and then one of them had like potatoes and this like guacamole salsa, and beans and rice and fried rice and stuff, and it was more delicious for sure. But I tried not to get it all the time. But yeah, both of them were really really good. I found this one deep fried tortilla with like beef and cheese, and it was like so unhealthy looking. It looked like he just deep fried the whole. He took the whole thing, but put all the beef and then tortillas on, and then he just deep fried the whole thing, and basically that was soup, and then he put cheese on it afterwards. It was super delicious, but I knew I couldn't eat it all the time, so I think I only ate it like once or twice, but it was super, super good. And what else was interesting is that the cheese in general was like very readily available. So, for making quesadillas and things like that. And what was interesting is that they had a lot of pizza places as well. And I had the pizza like kind of like a slice of pizza, and I thought it was actually pretty good. I thought the cheese quality was really, really good. Um, and then all right, so that was pretty much the food. Overall, I was a little bit disappointed, honestly, on the food. I thought I really like Mexican food a lot, and I eat it a lot. I think I might like the American version of it a little bit more than I like the real Mexican version. So kind of interesting, but overall, yeah, wasn't disappointed at all. I loved eating the tacos every day. I would give it like 8 out of 10 or something like that. Fitness and activities. So I had a routine where I basically went to the gym. I went to this place called Evolve, and what was cool is that it had a little like punching bag, and so I could do some Muay Thai or some boxing at that gym, which was really nice. And then it had a fully functional gym, and then I also did the sauna, which was really awesome. I love saunas and I love steam rooms and just relaxing in that environment. Something that was kind of funny is they played music like super loud at the gym. So while you're in the like big box area of the gym, they had a DJ, and she was like sitting there like DJing out, and the music was so loud. And normally I like to listen to like books or podcasts or something, but I couldn't even hear my own headphones because of the music being so loud. So that was kind of a crazy experience. And then cycling, I did a lot of riding, but that was because there was a share bike option, which I will get into in the next step. All right, so number three is transportation, how to get around. I had a really good experience. So, okay, when you go to Cancun, that's where you have to fly into to get to Playa del Carmen the fastest way. You'll go outside, and there's a bunch of taxi vendors that are trying to sell you taxi rides to your hotel. Now, if you do get one from there, I believe for me it was like $70 for a 45-minute ride, which is actually pretty decent for like American prices. But I had a feeling that there was a better way to get a deal in a place like Mexico, right? And so what I did was I fumbled around, and I basically found this girl who was taking the bus. She was an American as well, and she just told me how to do it and what her plan was. And she said her friend already did it, so she knew it was possible. And I was like, oh, cool. And so we ended up taking the bus. It's called ADO, ADO. We took that bus into town, and it was $1. And then we took that bus again from in town to the hotel zone. And again, it was like another dollar. And so it was $2. It probably took a little bit longer. I'd say like an hour and 10 minutes as opposed to 45 minutes straight shot. But the taxi drivers were picking up like four or five people anyway. So I think it would have been longer or about the same. So I highly recommend taking the ADO bus if you get a chance, and Google can help you get around with that. And then I also used the bus ADO to get to Playa del Carmen, and it was, I want to say like $15 or something like that to get all like an hour away. So it was really really like convenient and nice, and they had like little chargers, and they had even a TV playing some Spanish soap opera. So that was really fun. And then when I got to Playa del Carmen, they had I was gonna rent a bike, like a bicycle, but they had like share bikes. I think the app was called Bicycle or something like that, Bicila, Playa Bicila, and you download this app and you can basically just scan the bikes and start going right away. I think if you had a Mastercard, it was like 25% off, which would have been cool. But either way, it was really affordable. It was only like, I want to say like $20 or something like that for the whole month. Um, and yeah, it was really, really cool because I could walk around enjoying myself, not have to worry about my bike like being locked up or whatever. And then whenever I felt like, okay, it's time to ride home or I want to ride around somewhere, I could just open the app and find the local bike, uh, you know, parking spot, right? And just pick up a bike and just go. And it was very low commitment, very easy, and highly recommend it, actually. It was really, really fun. Um, so number four, the cultural experience. So I did actually go there for Day of the Dead, which is really exciting. I really like experiencing kind of the unique cultures in different countries, if possible. And so I experienced Day of the Dead, and I did 2 days. So I did one where I was going to this place called X Great, I think it's called. It's like a big park in Playa del Carmen, almost like a water park. And I went there, and I recommend that you go there early, even if you buy like the night pass, because it takes like an hour to get your pass, or at least it did on Day of the Dead day. And when I went there, everyone like not everyone, but a lot of people were dressed up in like kind of the skeleton costumes and everything, and it was really fun. It was really festive and really cool. And they had these crazy cool designs of like, these skeletons going around. They decorated the graveyard, and you walked around the graveyard and you saw the dead people, not the dead people, but the graves, the gravestones, and that was really cool. And yeah, what else did I do? Oh, they had a big show where they showed like the history of the Aztec and Mexican people, and in that show, I got to see like the whole history, and it was really, really cool to see the evolution of what happened there in Mexico. And I took a lot of photos and videos and things like that. And one thing that was really cool was this game that you had to like, it was like soccer, but you had to like do basketball. You had to hit the ball into a hoop, almost like basketball, but the hoop was on its side, and you could only use your hips to hit. So you couldn't use your legs or your arms or anything. So it looked very difficult. Um, I did paint my face while I was there. And then after that big show that I mentioned, I kind of got a little bit bored because a lot of the smaller shows were all speaking in Spanish and I didn't really understand it, so it just wasn't as entertaining for me. And then I did another day where I went down Sixth Avenue, which is like, or Fifth Avenue rather, which is like the big kind of like nightlife area. And a lot of people were dressed up, not just as the dead people, but there were a lot of like really good dead skeletons and stuff, but just regular Halloween costumes as well. I saw a lot of Pikachus. I saw Spock, which was really cool. Um, yeah, just all kinds of things. And I saw a lot of dinosaurs, those big kind of ridiculous dinosaurs. So that was really fun. Um, it was cool. Yeah, I really liked it. All right, number five, accommodation. So I stayed in an Airbnb. I think it was like, if I translate it to American, it was like $600 for the month. It was a little bit small. I kind of lost my units now just because I've been doing meters and feet and everything like that. But I think it was probably like, I don't know, 100 square feet. Does that seem too small? I'm not sure. But it had just one living room and then one bedroom, basically. And what I liked was that it was well equipped. It had a really good kitchen. Something that I would recommend, and the kitchen was good because I did a lot of meal prep. Like I mentioned, cooking the chicken for my street tacos and mixing the two. Um, yeah, so that was really good. And I had smoothies as well. Now, the thing I would recommend is my first hotel was like way out of the way, and it was very far from kind of like the cool, like the fun area of Playa del Carmen. And I'd recommend looking where the app that I was talking about, the Bicycle or Playa Bicycla or something like that app, where they stop servicing the bikes and only pick the hotels inside the service area. Another way you can think of it is just like go as close as you can to, Fifth Avenue, right? You don't have to be necessarily on Fifth Avenue, but like anywhere close to there is going to be higher class because I stayed at this one hotel. It was another Airbnb and it was very far away and I felt like actually quite scared. Um, and I wouldn't recommend that. So I would definitely go somewhere closer. All right. All right. Number six. Something really interesting is they had these like federales, I call them. I don't even know if that's correct, but where they basically had these giant police trucks that had like this gated back. It almost reminded me of a warthog from Halo, but basically, these big, like police trucks would drive around all throughout the town, like pretty much all the time. There was a lot at like Fifth Avenue, and they would just kind of patrol the area. And I felt a little bit like nervous or scared at the beginning, but as I started doing it, I think it was to keep the cartel out. And there was like kind of a presence that they had. They would just walk around the streets, and they had these big like machine, like huge like rifles, and they were in like full army gear. They had full like plating, like it looked like bulletproof, material, and like helmets and stuff. So it was quite intense, but overall, I think it was like pretty good to just keep the town safe and keep that presence kind of alive. All right, cool. And then yeah, number seven, I guess, just the overall impression. It was really good. It had a lot of tourist friendly amenities. So if you wanted to go to Senor Frog or whatever and just get American Mexican food, you could. It was pretty easy. But there's also a lot of local food, right? If you lived like the locals would live there, you could get street tacos like me. The transportation was super easy. The fitness options were very easy as well. There was even Muay Thai there if I wanted to. So it was very easy to just grind and do my work. And yeah, this trip was more work focused. And so, if you were so inclined, you might want to explore the nightlife more than me. I think I saw like a bunch of deals for like pretty cheap margaritas. And I think Mexicans, or like they produce a lot of vodka, I believe, or, oh, tequila. Tequila is what they produce. So if you were so inclined, you could check that out more than I did. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. That was the whole trip, or the summary of my trip, rather. If you have any recommendations, like for future, for like what I should have done in that area, or if you have any questions for me about what you would want to do in Playa del Carmen, leave them in the comments. I felt like it was very easy. The transportation with the bikes was really good, and if you're fitness oriented, it's a really good place to just kind of do a lot of work, enjoy, the weekends and things like that. And yeah, that's was pretty much my experience. I had a really good time. I'm really glad I went because it's just something that I've always wanted to do. I've spent a lot of time in Asia, and so it's good to go to kind of that side of the world. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks so much. Bye.